Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Pillars of Eternity, where last time we went into the lighthouse and we got to the very top and saw some sort of ghostly creature. I forget what they called it in the game, but we couldn't, well, we only tried once to beat her, but then we put an item on that gave us a higher perception and we were able to see her better, and now we're looking for Nia to try and figure out what we can do, because we noticed we found something about the red dream or something. Yeah. This person was also tracking the appearance of a ship called the Red Dream. Nia might know more about it, so we're going to try and find out more about the Red Dream and see if we can't solve the ghost problem with the lighthouse a different way. We also found, unfortunately, the body of a young boy who apparently tried to defend a woman who was being assaulted by a couple of guys, and the men kicked the boy into the river or the ocean, where he drowned and died. So we're gonna go and try and find his parents now. He mentioned that his dad was a frequent customer at the Salty Mast, so we're gonna go to the Salty Mast again, and this time we're going to actually go through, explore it, talk to everybody, all that stuff. So, you know, meet all the interesting people that would frequent this sort of establishment. Hopefully, they'll be interesting. So first off is Maya.
Good day, stranger.
The Almoa woman watches you suspiciously. One hand is tensed at her side, but as you approach, she relaxes and gives you a friendly, if weary, smile. I don't see many outfitted like you who aren't looking for trouble. You aren't looking for trouble, are you? What kind of trouble are you having? Tell me about this place. I want to order refreshments. Any of your regulars interested in earning some coin? I'm here for some quiet time. What sort of trouble are you having? A frown ripples across her blue facial markings. The kind that's bad for business. Local rowdies have taken to harassing my hard-working boys and girls, and our customers. They started showing up after this rash of Hollowborn, and they've been driving my regulars away. She looks you up and down, scratching her chin. I've been looking for someone to help me clean things up around here. The knights are too busy sniffing around Duke Ivar to bother with us commoners in the gift, and I just as soon not deal with their bureaucracy anyway. I could investigate as long as there's coin in it. Tell me how I can help. You need me to make an example of these thugs? No one should be harassed. I'll put an end to this. I'm here for some quiet time. I like how that option stays there. You need me to make an example of these thugs? Can't say I'd mind that as long as it solves the problem. Maya draws you closer. These thugs tend to roam in groups, which suggests to me that these aren't random incidents. She places one large finger on your chest. You put a stop to these attacks and I'll find a real nice way to thank you. She winks. Got me? I'd rather just go chat up the guard with the wide hips, personally, but we ought to stop her getting thrashed at least. True. Can I ask you about something else? I've got questions. Shoot. What do you know about these attacks? She waves a hand at the door. You only have to step outside to see for yourself. Those thugs out there are just waiting to cause trouble for anyone coming or going. She sizes you up. Maybe they would have let you pass though. Right, so this is the first time we passed the Salty Mast, we saw a noble dude getting beaten up. But I also wonder if these guys aren't the same people who might have killed that boy. We found a dagger. I think that dagger had the letter B on it. You need to keep an eye out for that. Tell me more about your business. She rubs the back of her neck. It's not doing as well as I'd like with all this trouble. I run an honest enterprise, just trying to give folks a little rest and relaxation. She nods at you and lowers her voice. You help me out, and I'll see about getting you a special discount. Can I ask you about something else? I don't think Clesia's too interested in brothel services of the Salty Mast. She wouldn't mind a drink, but I don't think she's into that kind of stuff. A knowing grin warps her blue markings. Now, just what can I do for a comely lass like yourself? Tell me about this place. I thought that was clear as the crystal waters below the docks. She laughs. This here is the Salty Mast, the most famous house of pleasure in Defiance Bay. We've got drinks, beds, and good company to help you enjoy both. Of course, the club for refined and prestigious gentlemen is upstairs. You'll find several of the hardest working boys and girls in Defiance Bay up there too. I want to order refreshments. Any of your regulars interested in earning some coin? I'm here for some quiet time. Let's see what kind of refreshments she has. Casita's Casserole. What's that do? Plus 10 endurance and 2 intellect for 300 seconds. It's only 17 copper each. That's not terrible. While we're here, let's go ahead and sell all this stuff. And you can have that. We don't need the fine stuff either. Yeah, we don't need that. Don't need these. Okay. That gives us 1600. Let's go ahead and buy these. All 6 of them. Give me those casseroles. I think those are good. Do I need to buy another camping supply? I do. Here we go. Trade. Good doing business with you. Find and confront the thugs. Hey. Very well. Brothel guard. Anybody on this side? Big Dermsy. Big Dermsy. The Orland man seems to walk with a slight limp. He doesn't say anything, but he stops and regards you with interest. What's wrong with your leg? He just laughs and shakes his head. How much? Nah, we're good. I'm not interested. Wonder if that's the guy who got stabbed. Maybe it's him? I don't think they mentioned him being in Orland, but maybe they just weren't mentioning that part. Half-finished tankards of ale and bottles of wine leave wet rings on the bar. Scattered plates hold fish bones and grease. Wade's eyes are red, rimmed, and unfocused. He stares into a filthy mug as if searching for something. He shivers and takes another drink. Why don't you just take one of them stools over there? He swats at the air in your general direction. Nowhere else for me to go. Now with the wife and estate and my boy. His face freezes with a stricken expression. And he turns back to the bar, muttering into his drink. Okay, that sounds like the dad, but he's not talking, and we're not gonna address him, I guess. Linus Tulips.
Welcome.
She leans on the bar, her black painted nails tapping the wood. What'll it be? Any of your regulars looking for work? What can you tell me about this place? What can you tell me? She arches an eyebrow. Every foreign sailor and visiting villager knows about the Salty Mast. It's the most famous brothel in Defiance Bay. She points to an honorable woman. You want to know more? Just ask Maya. Do you have any different things in here? You do. Wait, no, those are the things I sold you. Never mind. Yeah, okay. Wasn't there somebody over here? Let's, read Captain Pepperjack's soul. You see the prow of a ship slice through the deck of another, a Valian spice vessel, and are immediately accosted by splintering wood in panic. The pirates are upon the ship in the space of a shout, all elbows, gold earrings, and violence. Crewmen are hurled, shoved, and punched off the deck as the dog-eared captain boards. The hunt begins immediately as water begins to claim the wounded merchant vessel. The larger cargo boxes are ignored entirely in favor of the smaller, more delicate boxes and jars. The captain stands, water snarling around his ankles, as he waits for each of his crew to return to the ship with their plunder. Counting them off, he takes a running jump and grabs the railing, hauling himself aboard as the remains of the merchant vessel are devoured by the ocean below. The crew applauds raucous cheers and laughter as they begin to sort through the valuable Valiant spices. The Fansington would eat well tonight. Good for them. Good old pirates. They deserve it. Alright, hello, Jeffa.
Hail, traveler.
Not from around here, are we? The young woman's voice rolls with saucy cadence of Andra's gift. Excuse me. You need a local girl to show you the highlights? Lucky for you, I'm one of them. You're a local girl or a highlight? She laughs, both gorgeous. What else can you do with that clever tongue of yours? And what local attractions would you recommend? Jeffa winks. I'd rather show than tell. Maybe another time. Older drunkard? Is that a different person? It is. His robes are torn and stained with vomit. He turns his eyeless face toward you, wiping his mouth. Come for a story? His speech is slurred and his voice ragged. I told all the best stories. He slaps his chest. It's my club anyway. What club? The club for refined and prestigious gentlemen. He prods your shoulder. Wait. If you don't know about the club, you must be. He heaves, catching at his chest. After several precarious seconds, he recovers. Where was I? Oh, you must be here about the ring. The ring. He shoves it into your hand. Have to have that to get into the lounge, he hiccups. They don't just let anyone in there, you know. He wipes a hand on his shredded robe. It's the most exclusive club in Defiance Bay. He slaps you on the back. And whatever you do, don't tell any of them you're new, or he turns away, overcome by a fit of dry heaving. Alright, well thank you for the ring. You have gained an item, Club of Refinement and Prestigious Gentleman membership ring added to inventory. Let's see. This ring signifies membership to the Club of Refined and Prestigious Gentlemen. Beneath its sigil, a motto is inscribed in El Ediran. Freod owned Eathmedo. Cool. That's why you always talk to the local drunks. Hello, chef. The patrons and the courtesans work up fierce appetites, if you know what I mean. Keeps me busy. I think I know what you mean. More souls to read. Wasn't there another guy? I saw he started with an O. This guy, Orico.
Hello.
Hello. Orico catches your eye. A golden hoop dangles from one ear, and his fine-fitted clothes whisper as he glides over to you. You have me at a loss. How could I afford time with such a magnificent creature? What are you talking about? I'm talking about your magnificent eyes and perfect lips. Truly, it should be a crime for you to ever close them. He runs a finger along a perfectly symmetrical goatee. What can Orico do for you? You tell me. Some things must be experienced to be believed. Such confidence. Okay. We got some souls to read. Let's read their souls. Tin Louie. You see a tall woman crouched over her drink, sitting alone in an unkept inn. What few other patrons are there leave her well alone, walking a wide berth as she drinks. Even the innkeeper avoids her eyes as she serves her a procession of drinks. But she seems to take no notice. A man swaggers in, and he does take notice. With an imperious nod to the innkeeper, he seats himself next to the woman. Her buxom form, his clear interest. She turns away from him, but he persists, reaching a hand across and touching her knee. In seconds, he is prone on the floor, shocked and still, scrambling to get back up, and is prevented by her shoe on his throat. She raises an eyebrow, expression empty as he splutters for mercy. He's red by the time she relents, and she turns back to her drink as he scrambles backwards and out the door, casting affronted glances behind him as he retreats. The other patrons shake their heads knowingly. That's what he gets. Good for you, Tui. Or Tin Louie. Omadan. Reach out. You see the burned out shell of a room. This man stands in the middle of it, scorch marks surrounding his feet, smoke rising from his fire-singed robes. Debris is littered about, broken shelves, torn and burned books, smashed chairs, a sundered table. There are cracks in the wall, and light shines weakly through a small hole in the roof. Every window in the room has shattered, and a lamp lies on its side in the corner, burning oil forming a pool under it on the stone floor. The man looks around, surveying the wreckage. His eyes stop briefly on the 5 bodies lying amidst the debris. They are twisted, burned, torn, and nearly unrecognizable. He turns back to the only living man remaining, sitting against the wall, legs and pelvis crushed under a heavy stone beam. The dying man stares blankly over the beam, blood running from the corner of his mouth. The uninjured man leans over, looking into the eyes of the other one. "No other may have this knowledge," he says. The other man opens his mouth to speak, but this man has already walked away. He drops his hand to his side and speaks a short phrase. An inky drop falls from his hands and hits the ground, growing into a ring of black energy that extends outward. As it passes over the other man, he transforms. His skin becomes ashen and gray, his flesh desiccating and wrinkling in on itself. The ring extends past the man and blinks out of existence as his body, now nothing but ash, collapses in on itself. Huh. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay. What's this? There is a rather graphic declaration of affection for someone named Cyril. I think we saw Cyril last time we were in here. I think she was in the back room. Or he. I don't know which one it was. Alright. Hello, Larinia.
Good day to you.
The dwarven maid raises the hem of her skirt to show you a well-muscled leg. You've never experienced anything like this before. Trust me. What do you mean? Godlike. Why, I could climb a tall thing like you all night. She slaps a smooth, firm thigh. Not right now. Thank you, though. Thank you very much. Astoundingly, there is no spare change between these cushions. Huh. There's Ikali.
Good day to you.
The pale elf's gold eyes are the color of a winter sunset. She touches your cheek with a cool hand. Look like you've journeyed far. Let me show you comfort and rest. So this was the girl that the noble outside that got beat up was here to see. Tell me about yourself. I came to Defiance Bay from the frozen lands at the southern end of the world. Few of my people venture this far north, but none know how to warm a cold night like we do. Your skin seems to glow in the darkened bar. No thanks. Aldwin.
Good day, stranger.
The elf's long hair frames high cheekbones and a long, slender nose. It's not every day that the club gets such a breath of fresh air. Who are you? I'm a native of the Direwood, and an expert in the subtle arts. If it's practiced skill and finesse you seek, look no further. He wraps his tapered fingers against a wine goblet. I'll be going. Hello, Beck. Nice ring. You may go in. Oh, cool. Hello? Jason? Jason? Your first time at the Club of Refined and Prestigious Gentlemen, madam? Yes. Vincent Dwellier. Or Dwellier? The man looks down his nose at you. So, you're a member, I see. Are you here for the exclusive club equipment? Yes. I've been collecting the finest equipment for over a decade. I guarantee you won't find a superior collection. Oh, hey. Wow. An aquabus. An arquebus. Whatever you say my damn weapon's name. Ooh, look at that. It is better, as I would hope. Scupundaku's Evil Black Arquebus. A matchlock firearm of higher power and fair accuracy. Well, it doesn't have like a little story to it. That's not fair. Man, this guy's got actually really good stuff. Alright, we don't have a lot of money, so I'm actually not going to buy anything. But, tell me about this place. He holds his arms. Or he folds his arms. Broadly speaking, you're in the Club of Refined and Prestigious Gentlemen. On the upper floor of the Salty Mast. He tilts his head. More specifically, you're in the members-only lounge, which means you've been part of the club for at least a year. He eyes you suspiciously. Our rules are strict, but they keep the riffraff out. Mostly. Yep, I've been here for a year. Whole year. See, I know that I can come over here and just take this book because I have been here for that long. I know the rules. Okay. Anybody back here? Just some brothel patrons. And that's where Cyril is, right? That's where we saw Cyril. Yeah, Cyril. Can we go in there? Hello? If you want to meet Cyril, talk to Maya. Okay. Fair enough, I suppose. Alright, so that's everything here. I guess we could see if Maya will let us see Cyril. We don't really have a reason to see Cyril, but it's a named person. There you are.
Gods keep you.
No, not yet. Are we sure you don't want to say anything? Can't a man drink in peace? Yep, sure can. Alright, I guess we gotta find the mom. Which, there's one more house we haven't gone into. The named house. Guess we'll do that while we, take care of all the thugs. What is our goal for that quest? Find and confront the thugs. Maya, the owner of the Salty Mast, wants me to stop the thugs that harass her clients and courtesans. She suspects that someone is organizing them. Alright, I guess we'll just look for some thugs. Alright, we can speed it up. Any thugs up here? Any thugs over here? If I were a thug, where would I be? Ah, there they are. Harassing thugs. What have we here? Another tourist and a gift. He nods to his shifty-eyed companions. Let's give her a proper welcome. I'll give you money, just leave me alone. Let's talk this through. He draws a sharpened blade and smiles. I'm afraid you're missing the point, friend. I think you're gonna get more than you bargained for, buddy.
Yeah.
Everybody attack this guy.
Yes.
Ayla, you keep doing those. Okay, now you can attack them. We should be fine. Go ahead, Holy Radiation. Or Radiance. No radiation here. Okay, another one down. Everybody attack. Oop. Him. And then everybody attack him. Darrin's, go ahead and heal.
Hey.
And that's everybody, right? Good. Go ahead and loot them. And we get a key. Rusty bronze key. The old key looks like it's been rusted from years of exposure to the salty air. Okay. One of the thugs dropped a key that looks like it belongs to a house in Andra's gift. Okay, so now we're looking for a house. And here's a house. I think this is actually the named house. Yeah, Oddest House. Because we have to go... We can go talk to... I forget the guy's name. Started with a K. But he has the house above. A quiet, motionless... Are you here about my... Oh, God. Quiet, motionless shape is swaddled beneath filthy rags and moth-eaten towels. Oh, it's gonna be sad, isn't it? The woman looks like she hasn't slept in days. Her hair is a rat's nest of tangles, and her eyes are lined with shadows. She casts an anxious glance at the door. Her eyes widen, somewhere between hope and apprehension. Are you here about Darwin? Oh, man. I found Darrin. Thank the Sea Mother. Where is he? Darrin was murdered. I'm so sorry. Or he could lie. He's gone on to better things. A group of sailors saw him board a alien ship. Said he would seek a better life far from Defiance Bay. That's a small mercy, I suppose. I don't know how to tell you this, but he's gone. I can't imagine your grief. You may want to sit down. Darrin won't be coming back. Darrin won't be coming back. You may want to sit down. Ada's mouth falls open, and she stares back in shock. My boy's dead? It can't be. What happened? Darrin was defending one of the prostitutes from a couple of thugs. He was very brave. You should be proud. He crossed 2 dangerous men near the brothel. He's gone. Would hearing the details make any of this better? Wade left him alone. This is all his fault. He stole a man's dagger. This is why you should teach your children not to play with weapons. Jesus. He was defending one of the prostitutes from a couple of thugs. He was very brave. You should be proud. She sobs and quickly brings a hand to her mouth. Her eyes are bright with tears. Gods, how could this make it any better? I would never have let my boy die for one of those women. And yet, she chokes into her sleeve. Can only pray the gods will be kinder to him in the next life. Maybe there's hope for one of my children. After several seconds, she closes her eyes and swallows. I suppose it's better to know the truth than to keep wondering. Thank you, at least, for bringing me answers. Here, take these. I've been saving several keepsakes for Darrin one day, but he won't need them now. And I doubt I'll ever have another child to pass them on to. You have gained an item, minor ring of protection, and a fine dagger. Damn. That's sad. Brave Darrin. Ada was crushed by the news that Darrin was murdered, but at least she knows what happened to him. It's rough. That is rough. Okay, a fortitude. We'll give that to you. There you go. Don't know this stack. They don't. Wait. No, they don't. Do you also have a cloak of protection? Okay. I don't need it. Guess we could give it to you. What are you wearing? You have a cloak of protection. Let's give it to let's give it to Ayla. He's been with us longer. There we go.
Hey.
A pale green fuzz has colonized one of the loaves. That's tough. I don't suppose there was any way we could have saved Darrin, right? Like, we got here pretty early, I feel like. I guess we could have rushed here, but I doubt that. It doesn't seem like that's how it would work.
Sagani, does your fox bite?
Yes.
Can I pet him anyway?
It's your hand.
I'm gonna pet him. All right, then.
That line there reminded me of Alistair from Edier. Okay, which is high praise. Alright, so wasn't this house locked? I think this house was locked and we broke in. We're gonna go see if the thugs are here. I think they are, if I remember correctly. Yep. Deal with the instigator behind the attacks.
Well met, friend.
I don't know how to say her name. Afree? Afra? Wears a defiant expression and a sturdy yet battered suit of armor. She seems to bear each scratch and ding with pride. You don't look like one of the knights. Can I help you with something? Who are you? I'm Afree, a lieutenant with the dozens. She taps her dented breastplate. We're the last fighting force in Defiance Bay. That remembers what it means to be Dear Warden. And unfortunately, I'm the only one who seems to care about the way May has been squeezing the locals. I'm here about the trouble at the Salty Mast. Ordinary kith are angry, and they should be with that crooked Amawa toadying up to the nobles. She sneers. She's using the tragedy of Widewind's legacy to line her own pockets. She's no better than the Adiran overlords We drove out 200 years ago. That's probably a little bit of an over-exaggeration. I'm gonna go out on a limb there. People around here know you to be an honest broker. May has made it so only the rich can afford her establishment. Yet she sits in the poorest district of Defiance Bay. How's that fair? I don't know. It doesn't seem rather any fairer than anything else. We've taken matters into our own hands, but she's the real criminal here. Why don't you tell her to back down? That's a good point. I'll see if I can get Maya to lower her prices. Maya might be making a fortune, but her employees aren't. You're hurting them even more. Yes, think about the employees. I hadn't thought of it that way. Her dulled pauldrons sag. Then I guess there's no point in this, is there? She looks at the thugs standing around her and finally nods. Tell Maya we'll leave her people alone. There we go. Easy as pie. If that is an easy thing. I don't know. Is that even a saying? No idea. It's another quest down, though. We still don't know where Nia is, though. She must be in a tavern in one of the other districts. We are going to go ahead and read all the other souls we have to read before we leave. Or not before we leave, before we go turn this in. Because I think it's just, I don't know, maybe 4. There's this guy. Quinn hears him. Reach out. You see a body on a bench. A team of mages and healers buzzing around the room, shouting instructions and incantations. A pulsating crystalline device lies in the body's chest cavity, steaming slightly in the magically cooled room. The healers stitch the skin as a priest murmurs healing charms. Finally, it is done. The body is again whole. The mages gather for a final enchantment, as the others watch. A complicated ritual that has them sweating rivulets. A hush falls over the room as the body shudders, electricity arcing from side to side, eyes fluttering open. For a moment, he's there, but something is wrong. He goes to scream, and he's gone. The room is silent as they trail out, overcome, but something stays, not quite tangible, and shouts wordlessly as it sees its own body for the first time. Huh. A little Frankenstein's monster action going on there. Alright, where are the other souls I need to read? I think we read all the ones that were inside buildings, right? Here we go. Branwyn Gwyn. You see a young woman standing against the backdrop of a wide, grassy plain. Her face is all silver and shadow in the moonlight, and she looks down at the wooden raft at her feet. An older woman lies on the raft, her arms crossed over her chest, and her eyes closed in death. Her face is the same dark gray as the younger woman's, and her hand bears the same curving, that word? But that is where the resemblance ends. Protuberance? Protuberance? The young woman takes a pendant from the older woman's neck and ties it around her own. The platinum medallion shows a crescent moon engulfed by a curling wave, the symbol of the goddess Andra. The young woman pushes the raft from the grassy beach and into the tide. She stands in the surf and watches it disappear, a silvered tear rolling down her cheek. That was, I liked that one. Asuna Hamiel. Yeah, that's her name. You see 4 flickering torches, the only sources of light reflecting across 4 tense faces. Harsh words crackle the air between them as they argue about their course, some wanting to return, some wanting to continue. They move step by careful step through the dark cave, noses pinched and eyes alert. 1. A ghostly elven woman is thrown into the air and onto the ground with a sudden snap, the victim of an unseen trap. The group is surrounded now, skeletal hands reaching from beyond the grave at the intrusion of life in their midst. The group scrambles for their weapons, but too late. The skeletons are already upon them. The fallen elf cracks her eyes open. One of her companions falls, about to be impaled by an ancient spear. Adrenaline floods her system, and she screams into action, moving faster than anyone just unconscious has a right to. Her eyes white with fear, she conjures a wall of fire, incinerating the skeleton, providing a momentary reprieve for the party. Breathing hard, they share a glance at the passage, as the passage is flooded with flickering orange, and ready their weapons. This time they are ready, and the skeletons last mere minutes before falling to the ground once more. That's like our adventuring party. Kick ass and take names. That's what we do. Alright, I think that might be everybody. I thought there was more. Good. There might be more down here. I don't think so, though. We're just gonna check real quick. Alright, there wasn't one over here, right? No. And then these two that we're about to find, we've already read the souls of. Yeah, we've already read them. Right? Yes, the click, click, click one. Good. Alright, let's go back to the Salty Mast. Tell her that we've handled the situation, get our reward. And then I guess we'll go to Brockenberry. Might as well go through there on our way back to Copper Lane to see if Nia's there. And if I don't find Nia in the city as we go through it, I might have to look it up. I really hope we don't have to do that, though. Or we'll just have to kill the ghost. Hello.
Hail, traveler.
I've talked with the ringleader. She agreed to leave you alone. Maya's brow ridges rise. Well, that's a welcome surprise, and one worth celebrating. Take some coppers and enjoy yourself. Her smile widens, and if you choose to have your fun here, enjoy my special discount. Thank you for the experience, and the 600 copper. Might as well have a drink or two. This seems like as good a place as any to pick up a few sordid secrets, and sundry diseases at that. A knowing grin warps her blue markings. Now, just what can I do for a comely lass like you? Nothing. Woo, quest done. Alright, how are we doing? Getting closer. Getting closer. What level are we? We're 6th level priest. Alright, let's head out. To Brackenberry. The last, well, I guess there's Heritage Hill. So it's not the last zone. But if I remember correctly, Heritage Hill is just like almost like an open dungeon. I don't think there's much of a city to explore. Such that it is. Alright, can we get to Brackenberry from here? No. Okay, so I guess we gotta go back through First Fires. And we do need to be mindful of time. Katanua is going to be attacked relatively soon. Luckily, the lighthouse it's not like a pressing matter, right? I don't think, anyway. How much time do we have? Resolve attack. 1 day, 19 hours. So we have we don't have a ton of time left, to be honest. But let's explore Brackenberry and then head over there. I think this will lead us to Brackenberry. Yep. 15 minutes. Alright, here we are.
You've been on your own for 5 years,
I've had Itamok.
but you can't talk to him.
My standards changed around year 2.
Of course you can talk to him. Okay, what do we have here? We've got the Sanitarium. So there was a path to Andra's Gift, we just didn't see it. We got Oddest House. We've got House Dominel. I think that's the criminal organization, right? We got Raymont Manor. And the Charred Barrel, which I think that's the other tavern. Alright. Neden. The woman is absorbed in a book, muttering softly as she reads. Hello?
Hail and well met.
A woman stands in the shade of the garden, muttering to herself. She's fixated on the pages of a large and well-worn tome, seemingly oblivious to the blooming flowers and the cool, fragrant breeze. She only looks up when your shadow crosses her page. Do you mind? I'm rather busy. What are you busy with? She snaps her book shut. I'm studying soul attachment. We all know that souls move into people at birth and out of them at death, but we still have a lot of questions about what makes them stick, so to speak. What do you mean, about making them stick? She brushes a stray lock from her forehead. Souls power bodies and give their tissue life, but only when they're firmly attached. It's separation that leads to a whole spate of soul-related ailments, including the Hollowborn. But if we understood how to reattach souls, we could end Widewind's legacy, maybe even conquer death. She scratches behind her ear. That's the theory, anyway. Unfortunately, I don't have all the research I need to put it into practice. What do you need? There's a manuscript called The Theorems of Pangram. It contains research from Pangram's experiments on detached souls. The Hall of Revealed Mysteries is rumored to have a copy in the Elder Archives. Pangram's work is considered to be one of the more daring animancy texts, not something generally circulated among novices, nor easy to get a hold of. I wonder if we might have a peek at it. I could get a peek of it. The theorems could advance my research by leaps and bounds, but Grimda, the High Archivist, worships whale, which means she has some paradoxical views on sharing and restricting knowledge. And since she's not exactly a proponent of animancy, she tends to restrict the kinds of information that would be useful to me. Maybe she could be persuaded. You're welcome to try, but you wouldn't be the first. Anyway, I should probably get back to my work. Tell me about yourself. I'm an animancer at the Sanitarium. Currently, I'm researching matters related to Widewind's legacy. Anything else? She looks eager to return to her studies. Yeah, I'm going to keep bugging you. What's Widewind's legacy? Widewind's legacy refers to the rise in Hollowborn children in the Direwood in recent years. Some have also connected it to so-called Beowicks that blow through Ear Glenfath. There's hardly any reliable data on those, though, so I can't really comment. She sniffs. I don't much care about the term Widewind's legacy. Or care for the term Widewind's legacy. It reeks of superstition, but it's too prevalent to change at this point. Personally, I like to see people take a more methodical approach to these matters, rather than throwing up their hands and blaming the gods. Good to hear someone speaking sense on the matter. I have some questions about the theorems of Pangram. Such as? Tell me about the theorems. Pangram was an animancer working in the Direwood. He had some interesting theories about the essence and some rather innovative techniques for studying it. He was able to reattach souls to bodies after death, although he wasn't able to prevent his patients from degenerating. He was controversial, to say the least, but many are starting to realize that he was merely ahead of his time. What do you mean, degenerating? Neden twists her hands together. Well, there seems to be a tiny problem with reattaching souls after death. The bodies will reanimate and may even retain memories and personality, but they develop a hunger for flesh. Living, soul-infused flesh. Ah. Without it, they start to devolve, decaying mentally and physically. If the process goes too far, which it eventually does, they become mindless corpses, attacking anything that moves. We haven't figured out how to avoid that. That is more than an inconvenient side effect. You've reproduced an unnatural curse with little to show for it. That sounds like necromancy. Nonsense! Necromancy is magic. This is science. She emphasizes the last word. Why doesn't she lend you the book you need? The Hall of Revealed Mysteries is rather protective of its books, especially the rarer ones. And Grimda is in particular. She hates animancy, thinks it's dangerous. I don't see how you can run the greatest library in the Direwood and be so averse to the spread of knowledge and research. But I've never understood these religious types. Aloth scowls at the animancer. Some knowledge is best kept under lock and key. I'd like to know about the Hall of Revealed Mysteries. You'll find it in the Copperlane district. It's dedicated to the goddess secrets and revelations. Most importantly, it houses the largest and most expansive library in Direwood. Well, that settles it. We simply must go see it, right? We already have, Kana. What are the Elder Archives? The Elder Archives hold the rarest, most arcane, and most powerful texts in the Direwood. Think of it as the inner sanctum of the Hall of Revealed Mysteries. Needless to say, you need Grimda's permission to enter. So I want to ask, are you the Animancer who's been buying relics from Emmett? Emmett? I don't know who you're talking about, but I work with theories, not rocks or pot shards. I'll leave you alone. Okay, so we could go take that book from the Elder Archives and give it to her, if we so wanted to. Let's go into this place, which I think this is the Animancer's sort of its base. Yeah, the Sanitarium. Sanitarium guard. Verna. The table is set with an assortment of leaflets and booklets, with titles like Practical Benefits of Animancy and Soul Adjustments for the Well-Adjusted Soul. Hello. Verna, reach out. You sense a strange divide in this woman's soul, an unnatural boundary between two opposed wills. You see the woman pausing by a roadside to hand something to the driver of a stopped wagon. These herbs should help with the party's sickness, she tells him. You can find more along the road, easy to spot with their serrated leaves, but avoid the ones with the green berries. It's a different species, toxic. He thanks her and offers her coin, but she waves him off, explaining that she is merely doing what her order asked her to. He nods, and she heads off down the road as he begins to hungrily consume the herb. You see the woman searching alongside the road now, the wagon just up the path, and you realize you have skipped backward in her memory. She sets her eyes on a plant with serrated leaves and green berries. She picks several handfuls, tearing the berries off one by one and tossing them to the ground. She nudges them off the path into the brush quickly with her boot without looking down, as if to hide them from her own sight, before striding back toward the wagon, hands outstretched. Oh, damn. Not good, Verna. Not good. Warden, wait, what's going on here? Extend a formal invitation. See to it that the necessary preparations are made. Of course. Hello? Head Warden Ithelmower. A well-maintained statue of a middle-aged man presides over the room, looking down unblinking over the bustle of harried academics pestered by the hopeful desperate. I can't read. I'm terrible. A strong warmth emanates from it that you could sit. What am I doing? 1 second. A strong warmth emanates from it that you could sense from across the room. There is a human soul stored beneath the stonework. You feel its attention turned towards you. This is similar to our throne. It has been some time since a watcher graced these halls. His voice echoes deeply, rumbling the floor beneath you. I am envious of your natural insights, traveler. I can only imagine how it might have helped my work and life. Now, what is it that has brought you to my sanitarium? Are you the Animancer who's been buying relics? There's a large and rather notorious black market for uncatalogued within relics. I stay far away from it. I'm curious as to how you've come to be in your present state. In the statue, you mean? Well, he laughs. I was old, and it seemed wrong to me, a lifetime spent in pursuit of discovery only to lose it all in death. Somewhere, someday, I would wake up in a new body, none the wiser, and pursue a different course entirely. All that experience wasted. If we are ever to unearth the principles behind our existence, it will be in spite of our condition. Of that I am quite sure. To live on as a part of something I helped build seemed to me a better legacy than what nature had in store. The transfer itself was quite simple, as our techniques go, and for that I am grateful. Playing with souls is far easier to accept when they are not your own. I do miss being able to take an active role in the scholarly efforts here. Now and again, one of our animators will humor me and consult me over some problem, but they are a jealous breed and are too often afraid to collaborate. If you are considering it yourself, I can tell you that it isn't for the easily bored. Tell me about the Sanitarium. A history lesson? This is a rare pleasure. Most come in here only concerned with cheating death in one way or another. We're an old institution as their word goes. This is our 94th year. As with many cities, the growth of Defiance Bay brought with it a host of problems. One of the worst was that those born with, shall we say, ill-favored souls came to populate its streets in droves, thus the Sanitarium. Brackenberry was a natural fit. It was growing, but there was also a lot of money here back then. This place owes its survival to the curiosities of the wealthy more than anything, I think. Our founding came at a time of great suspicion in animancy, much like today. So much progress has been lost to the mishaps of a few careless practitioners. But in time it was forgotten, as all things are. Since then we have been at the forefront of animancy resurgence. We have played host to many gifted researchers and pushed the boundaries of our knowledge in ways never thought possible. Some of the first safe transferences were done here, and we have pioneered work in soul purification, lineage analysis, preservation. It's really quite a list, if you'll pardon my pride. Today it's, well, I can't say it's exactly the same. There's been some push to shut us down. It comes from Direwood's more excitable denizens, whose minds are more passionate than thoughtful, I'm afraid. People see this legacy, and they see it involves something they don't understand, so it's natural for them to suspect people whose understanding exceeds theirs. It looks to them like we're hiding something. We have a representative in the palace this very moment, defending the entire science of animancy at a hearing before the Duke, absurd as it sounds. If it does not go well, it could be the end of animancy in Direwood. I fear Avar may be swayed by all this unrest, irrational though it may be. We shall see. Farewell. Okay, anything in here? This man's soul was torn asunder by a Beowick. That's not good. Oh, there's a body there. Oh, free book. As you can see, the patient is unresponsive, common after soul trauma. Saint Widewin, farmer become god. Anything else? The animancer places a small stone upon the patient's forehead. A portion of his soul was recovered near his body. We use this stone as a vessel for transfer. Can you hear me, Oswin? The patient's eyes slowly open before a panicked, wild expression washes over him. Unfortunately, the extended dissociation has permanent side effects. The patient becomes more agitated, grunting and moaning as he tugs at the bonds. With further research, we're confident that we'll be able to rehabilitate patients like Oswin. Good. Hope you make it, Oswin. Hello, Iramid. Reach out. You see a dark room with garish furnishings, a large bed covered with pillows, several couches, and expensive rugs. This man is sitting in a chair, pushed against the wall of the room opposite the door. He is dressed in dark clothes with a black cloak wrapped around his shoulders, its hood pulled close around his face. Shadows fall across him, the darkness rendering him virtually invisible. Two other men wait in the darkness with him, watching the door. All three are motionless. Noise from the crowded common room below echoes up through the floorboards. The handle rattles. A man staggers in, dragging a young woman with him. The two standing men exchange a quick glance, one of them tilting his head and shrugging only slightly before jumping to the task at hand. One steps forward, grabbing the girl's wrist, wrenching it from her escort's hold with one hand while pushing the door closed with the other. Then that hand is over the girl's mouth before she is even aware she's in someone else's arms. He takes a dagger from its place on his belt and draws it across her neck. He holds her still, waits for the struggle to stop. The other standing man has already subdued their target, now tied to a chair, arms and legs bound with a rag stuffed in his mouth. The girl, no longer moving, is placed under the bed. the man who dealt with her taking his place beside the other. They stare down at the man, screaming against the cloth, but the muffled sound is unheard over the raucous noise of the crowd below. One of the men begins murmuring softly, putting his hand beneath or under the chin of the man in the chair. There is a brief flash of light, and the man stops struggling, a suddenly placid look in his eyes. The two captors ask various questions, but the bound man answers happily. After they finish, the two look to the man sitting against the wall. He has not moved as the events transpired before him, but only sat, silently observing everything as it happened. He stands, holding the cloak closed around himself, and nods to the two men. He then walks to the door, opens it only far enough to allow himself to exit, and leaves them to finish their task. Alright. Seems like he's in some fishy stuff too. All these free books, we're gonna take them all. Take. Thank you very much. All mine. Alright. Nans. I think that was the name of... These look like field sketches of Ingwithan ruins and artifacts. Free book. Hello, Nans.
Greetings.
An elderly woman peruses the shelves with a quickness and an energy that belie her age. I'm afraid I don't practice anymore, child. Too busy with my research. Emmett sent me. He said you'd be interested in these scepter pieces we found. That chatty old fishwife's been blabbing about me, I see. She laughs and rolls her eyes. Never trust your secrets to a man with so much salt in his beard. Anyway, let's see what you've got. Nans examines the scepter, her eyes hooded by crinkled flesh. Emmett told you true. I'll buy this. Unfortunately, a broken scepter isn't as valuable as he may have led you to believe. She steals a glance at your face, but her fingers tighten around the piece in her hands. I'll take it off you for 500. Nonsense. This could easily be repaired by someone with the proper skill. Lore. Her eyes flash under her sagging lids. I've got the skills, all right, and you know more than the average relic hunter, I see. Making it whole again is a matter of alchemy, expensive alchemy. I've got to soak the broken ends in a fiend's blood compound to reconnect them, never mind the embalming work to restore the enchantments. She eyes you. I could do it to the tune of 1,800 pans. I'm giving you a rare opportunity to work with an Ingwithan scepter. Surely you could bring the price down. Aye, perhaps if you want to bargain and haggle with every dragon blood vendor and imp horn merchant in the city. She puffs her sagging cheeks. Very well. You can have the satisfaction of working an old woman to an early grave for only 1,500. 1,500 it is. I expect you'll want to watch and see that your money is put to good use. Better get comfortable then. Uh-oh. How much time is going to pass? She lays out an array of powders, potions, and other obscure ingredients on her desk. After what feels like hours, she returns to the main hall with you and presents the scepter. Looking at it, you'd never know it had been broken in the first place. This may be the finest work I've ever done, if I may say so, and thank you for giving me the opportunity. Examining a piece like this is a dream come true for someone in my field. She gazes at it wistfully. Take good care of it. Ingwithan's scepter added to inventory and experience gained. Nans regards you with bright, intelligent eyes. Can I help you with something else? What do you do? I'm an animancer. Used to venture on all kinds of underfunded and ill-fated trips out of the expedition hall when I was your age, but lately I have found research better suited to my current pace. She pats a creaking knee and laughs. I'd like to know more about the Sanitarium. It's the official center of animancy in Defiance Bay, founded in 2729. And before you get saucy, no, I wasn't around at the time. It was built to treat ailments of the mind and soul. Important sort of place to have in a growing city, and its construction marked the end of the animancy slowdown that followed the Bellreach accident. Bellreach accident? She shakes her head. A terrible setback for the discipline. A researcher working outside the Bale Marsh shattered the souls of a dozen volunteers. Her voice lowers to a growl. Of course, we'll never know exactly what went wrong because the mob tore him to pieces. This mishap bears some of the blame for the slower pace of research in the 2.5 decades that followed. but it also helped concentrate practicing animancers here in Defiance Bay. Farewell. Okay, another quest down. And we got a scepter? Where is it at? Is this it? Yep. It's better than what you're using. It is slightly better than your rod. So you can have it. There you go. Cool. Alright, so I think that is where we are going to end this episode, guys. The next one, we'll explore the rest of the Sanitarium, and then the rest of Brackenberry. We still have time, right? Still got a little bit of time left. And then maybe we'll make it to Katanua in the next episode. I don't know. Until then, I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll catch you later.